Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Great to see so many of you here for this session. Just by a show of hands, who's a current Shopify customer? Nice, we love you. Who's thinking about moving on to Shopify? Wonderful. Great, well, good to have you here. Hopefully we can share a little more with you on the platform and perhaps some compelling reasons to do so. This afternoon, we're going to be talking to you about one of the primary challenges associated with e-commerce, and that's growing and scaling your business internationally. It's challenging, there are complexities, and we're going to get into specifically what they are and ways that we can help you simplify that process. This is particularly relevant for merchants that are either mid-market at the moment and looking to expand quickly into new markets, and also for enterprise who are currently dealing with the complexity associated with selling at scale. So I've been with Shopify for around about 4 months now. That's not long, but in a very short time I've come to understand the culture, the product, and some of the work that we've done with the world's largest organizations to help them with commerce at scale. Prior to joining Shopify, I worked with Accenture for around about 5 years as an enterprise architect, and it was my role to help our clients reimagine commerce and also with some of the more complex topics related to selling globally. This involved integrations, front-end enablement, connecting different systems for a composable architecture, and also the assessment and selection of commerce platforms. Prior to that, I had a digital agency and we were a Shopify partner. So I've helped merchants on Shopify grow and scale their business. And when it comes to commerce, there's not much that I haven't seen. And today I'm going to be sharing some insights with you in relation to what I've learned on the journey with merchants of all sizes, but particularly in relation to enterprise. When I joined Shopify, I felt like I joined the winning team. And I couldn't help but notice a parallel with the recent Olympics in Paris. For me, looking at the Olympics, it's the pinnacle of performance. It's where everything needs to come together on a global stage. It's the culmination of discipline, achievement, organization. And it's really about being in that top percentile. And really at Shopify, we've been focused on making commerce better for 20 years now. We are focused on the craft of commerce alone. Unlike many of our competitors, it's all we do. So this afternoon, I'm also joined by Jamie Burks from Nosto. I'd like to welcome Jamie to the stage, and she'll tell you a little bit about herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jamie. I am the manager of our customer success team at Nosto out of North America. Came here for the convention, and it's been really interesting to meet all of the folks here and learn how really the globalization happens across all different countries and regions. Super excited to talk a little bit today about the use case that I've worked on with a customer who also uses Shopify, and really how using Nosto and Shopify together can really help you easily scale and grow your business.
Thanks, Jamie, and we'll see a live demo from Jamie just a little bit later on. So what are those challenges that I'm referring to when I talk about commerce at scale? So firstly, what we've heard from our merchants and from enterprise in the last 20 years is that today more than ever, enterprise need to understand audiences better. You need to understand who your customer is, and you need to be able to, in real time, craft a relevant message that's going to connect with that customer. Secondly, navigating the nuances of trade globally is challenging. There's compliance, taxes, and duties, and there's considerations around ways to localize the experience, which is essential. Supporting commerce operations at scale is also a challenge. As your business grows and scales into new markets, you need to make sure that your customer service and the way that you manage your commerce operations are aligned with the nuances of that market. And we're going to touch on some ways this afternoon in which AI can help you do that. Lastly, as you will know, commerce at scale, where you have to enrich the customer experience with data, product, price, and inventory, often in real time, creates a requirement for integrations. Traditionally, these have been complex. You've needed a team of people, and they've taken quite some time. We're going to share with you what Shopify's investment has realized with our strategic partners to help you achieve integrations faster. so you can sell globally. All right, does that sound good? Great, let's get started. So what is it that's going on right now in the world of commerce? Well, the economic backdrop is changing, and what we're seeing is that with the headwinds that businesses are facing, customers are unpredictable, they're messy, and they're increasingly trading down. Who here is selling online and seeing evidence of that at the moment? Great. It's unfortunately the reality. And so with that, there are some insights that I think are important when it comes to thinking about scaling your commerce operations. So 84% of customers are looking around to find the best prices and also discounts. Brand loyalty is at an all-time low. 43% of shoppers are favouring brands with sustainable practices. But what's interesting about that is that skepticism and distrust is growing. You certainly don't want to be a brand that is seen to co-opt your purpose with that of, say, a mission like sustainability when in fact it's not genuine. So what we're seeing is that distrust is growing, and that distrust that results from a consumer's experience with one brand is affecting all brands. 42% of customers today are open to recommendations from ChatGPT like natural language interfaces. There's certainly no denying that more and more we're all using large language models each day and relying on them for the answers to problems, recommendations in relation to products and services. And I note very recently that we've seen the likes of Bing start to integrate within their Copilot relevant advertising. Now, it was Oscar Wilde who said a long time ago, the only thing that's worse than being talked about is not being talked about at all. And certainly you want to make sure today that you're featured in these conversations that are happening at scale, because these conversations are very much changing the way consumers are approaching the search journey. Lastly, there's been some changes in the way people are buying. They're using things like live streaming and social shopping and also augmented reality. And these are new capabilities that not a lot of merchants are taking advantage of. And just what is the extent of that? Well, 11% of households in the US have bought something on TikTok, and we're seeing that some 71% of shoppers would be more likely to shop online more frequently if AR were part of the experience. And certainly we've seen a lot of merchants at Shopify that have realized a very significant increase in the average order value and the conversion rate as a result of using things like virtual try-on, or maybe the ability to use augmented reality to place a product in situ, whether it's a painting or it's a couch. So it's no surprise then to find that the second priority for most businesses today is actually adapting to shifts in customer behaviors and their purchasing behaviors. Now, this is more challenging than ever, and what we at Shopify know is that the answer to this is actually to use technology. And this can help us, first of all, understand customers better, and it can help us to personalize the experience so that we can be there at the moment that matters with a more relevant offer and the product that is important to them. So let's touch on some of the ways that you can approach commerce at a global scale, taking advantage of new markets that are being established, places where people are coming together and communities are being created and evolving, and people are shopping. This is radically redefining commerce. Who here watches YouTube regularly? Fantastic. Last year, 30 billion hours of shopping-related video watched on YouTube. Incredible, right? Very, very soon, as a result of the partnership between Shopify and Google, you will have the ability as a Shopify merchant to feature your products in streaming entertainment on YouTube. That means with a single click, when your customer or prospect is watching a video, might be unboxing, it could be an overview or a review of a product, or it could be something completely unrelated. But with one click, they will be able to add to cart and then check out using Shopify. Now, I think that's pretty powerful, and what we're hearing from a lot of marketers is that they see shoppable video as the next frontier. Now, at the moment, Paramount, NBC, Universal, and a number of other digital leaders are piloting this technology, and it's coming very, very soon. Effectively, we'll all be shopping while we watch shortly. Connection has now scaled. So what is it when you use social media? You're closer to your friends, to your family, you're discovering things, right? You are in a place that isn't necessarily somewhere you go to shop, but what we know is that it's somewhere that you go to look for recommendations or maybe to discover new products. Well, Shopify is one of the leaders in social commerce, and I think it's fair to say that we have a range of integrations that make it very easy for you to feature your products on these channels, whether it be TikTok or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. Now, our partners, like Facebook, or Meta I should say, and TikTok are building out new capabilities that allow you to connect with customers in much more meaningful ways. This includes live streaming, it includes social shopping, and also events where influencers present your products. And what we know from a recent study is that there is 139% uplift and deeper brand connections realized when you are using these new capabilities. So for commerce at scale, you can utilize Shopify's plugin and very quickly take advantage of these capabilities to connect with customers in much more meaningful ways. Selling at scale, perhaps you're not ready to make the move into a market yet and sell directly to customers. Well, we have Shopify Marketplace Connect. And Marketplace Connect is an app that with just a single click and minimal configuration, you can very quickly realize your inventory across Amazon, Target, Walmart, eBay, and Etsy, potentially unlocking the door to very large audiences and enabling you to sell easily into markets where you may not be today. So I invited Jamie here today because we wanted to talk about personalization at scale. Now, we have a very special customer at Shopify. It's Kylie Jenner from Kylie Cosmetics. Kylie Jenner from Kylie Cosmetics. Kylie Cosmetics is part owned by Coty, one of the largest brand holding companies in the world. It's a brand that is quite dear to me because in a previous life at Accenture, I worked on the architecture for commerce at scale, pretty much what you see today at the Kylie Cosmetics website and the Kim Kardashian SKKN website. There was a requirement with Kylie to be able to scale very quickly. She was very successful in the US, but as a result of her very significant investment in digital and campaigns, she had customers in markets like Europe, the Caribbean, South America. So the power of the Shopify platform and Nosto combined enabled her to realize a one-on-one experience with customers at scale, and it also put in the hands of business the tooling that they needed to manage digital merchandising and campaigns in real time via the Shopify admin. It also meant that when Kylie shared something to Instagram and perhaps 500,000 of her 200-odd million followers clicked through to the website, that we could cater to the performance underload requirements. Now, what does that look like, you might say, for someone like Kylie? Well, that can be up to 40,000 checkout starts in a minute. And if you have any doubts about Kylie Cosmetics relevant as an enterprise brand and case study, Kylie in the first years alone sold billions of dollars of GMV through the platform on Shopify. So with that, I would like to invite Jamie back onto the stage, and she's going to share a little more on personalization and how Kylie was able to achieve that at scale with Nosto.
Thank you so much, James. So I'm sure the merchants out here have all kind of had that balance or struggled between, do I make all of my products individual parent products? Do I instead nest children's SKUs under my parent products? And I think that this one is kind of a particularly challenging experience that the Kylie brand has had on their website. Through Nosto, we've actually had a lot of success in exposing some of those child SKUs to the customers who are coming to the website. So with Nosto's integration with Shopify, we have the ability to understand a customer's SKU affinity. So when it comes to the makeup brand, as an example, I might be a person who is always shopping the pink lipsticks, or if we're thinking about sizes, I am a person who maybe is always shopping a certain size. As a result, Nosto is going to store that data and ensure that you're getting that experience as soon as you engage with the website and also over time. So what we see here on the screen is me looking at a nude lipstick here, and you can see in the product recommendations hosted by Nosto at the bottom of the page, we're showing some of these other nude lipsticks. if I engage with the SKU here, maybe I want a little bit more of a brighter color, more bold here, you'll see that the Nosto product recommendations at the bottom of the page are going to update to reflect that, and also maybe show products that are commonly purchased with it, like the gloss. So in real time, we are personalizing to the individual customer based off of their interactions with the website, but then, as mentioned, we're storing that data about the individual. So just looking at my Nosto debug toolbar here, what we can see here, looking at our variant shade grouping, the way that I've interacted with this website over time shows that I have a stronger preference towards reds and pinks, maybe more over the corals and nudes here. But as I continue to engage with the website, continue to show more affinity preferences, this data will be stored in Nosto so that we can kind of continually personalize across the board here. So what are the results of this? When we take a look at the experience with using that variant affinity, we see that we have a 30% higher conversion rate within these recommendation slots. So kind of pulling in that personalized experience down to the SKU showed a really, really strong performance increase. And generally across the board, we see a 75% increase in conversion when customers are interacting with the personalized product recommendations across the website. So this is great, and obviously we want to be able to grow this at scale. And Nosto has done a really great job to try to keep up with Shopify's continuous innovation. And I think, specifically with this example, making sure that we can globalize and localize to the different brands and markets. We don't want to have to sacrifice our personalization in order to ensure that we can sell to all of the different countries and regional markets that we're interested in. James will go into this a bit further, but as it relates to Nosto, when scaling and growing into your different markets, you have the ability to basically just, as simple as turning on a slider, say, okay, I want my personalization to touch my France market. I want it to touch my Italian market. It needs to go into the US. And from there, just within all one app, promote and push all of your different campaigns together to have that experience across the board. So yeah, James will definitely go deeper into the localization pieces here, but all in all, it's proved really, really well for the Kylie team, and definitely having that deep integration between Shopify and Nosto has kind of changed the game across the board. Just as a side note with Nosto, we do this personalization across every different touch point on your website. So we will do this personalization across the search pages. So you can completely personalize that site search. If I'm searching red dress on a website, I'm going to see a completely different experience than maybe what another individual would be doing. Same with the collection pages. I know a lot of us are a bit brand sensitive, and so maybe we want to have the first 40 products manually pinned, but from there, let's personalize the rest. That's going to help your engagement. All in all, it's definitely been really great to see how we can use these individual touch points and scale them to help businesses. Back to you.
Hey, thanks so much, Jamie. I think we can all agree that there's some quite impressive results. The benefit that you get when you actually personalize and make the experience more relevant is a massive increase in the average order value typically, and also the conversion rate as we've seen. Personalization is very much a journey. If you haven't gotten started, I'd encourage you to do so today, and Jamie and myself will be around to talk more about that, and you can drop by the Nosto booth to learn a little bit more. I think what this shows you is that at Shopify we take a composable approach to commerce very seriously. So there is complete optionality in the platform. You can move very quickly at a low cost, taking Shopify off the shelf and using our online storefront. You can be up and running in half a day. I built a store, it was online in 4 hours. At the other end of the scale, if you're an enterprise with complex need and a requirement to differentiate, and you want to build cutting-edge commerce experiences where you have agility, freedom to truly innovate, then you can take commerce components. It allows you to take the platform components, potentially the cart and checkout, or maybe our opinionated approach to realizing a front-end experience with hydrogen and oxygen, and then you can integrate those components into your tech stack, taking advantage of the capabilities that Shopify offers in conjunction with capabilities from our partner like Nosto. Okay, number 2, let's talk about how you successfully manage the nuances of e-commerce across multiple markets. So working on commerce at scale for the last 5 years with Accenture and recently at Shopify, what I've seen is that every market is different, right? The way you sell in India versus the UK versus in Australia versus in, say, the UK is dramatically different. There are different considerations around culture. There are different compliance regulations. There are market-specific taxes. There are customs and also duties. Now, we offer some ways at Shopify to make that process much, much easier. And this applies to those of you who are on Shopify today, and also to those of you who might be thinking about joining Shopify and looking to expand globally. I think what we're seeing now, given the evolution of retail, is that today, digital leaders are selling everywhere and anywhere. They are effectively where their customer is, and they're selling in real time. They're connecting in much more meaningful ways, and they're relying on much more thoughtful, creative and campaigns. Now, localization of the experience is very much the foundation for this. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm talking about the basics, right? Languages, currency, and content. Also, as touched on before, compliance, taxes, and meeting local regulations. Now, there is a very significant reward for getting all of this right. What we see today is that there are markets which offer significant opportunity for our merchants. Global e-commerce is expected to reach 7.9 trillion by 2027, and the US market alone has 250 million digital buyers. That's almost 75% of the population. If we look at the situation a little closer to home, UK, the e-commerce market revenue is predicted to hit 266 billion in 2025. Now, if you're not selling in these markets at the moment, you're missing out on a huge opportunity. Traditionally, to do this, you had to spin up a new instance. You needed probably a market-specific front end. You needed a development team in the market. You had to write business logic. You needed an integration layer, probably to transform data to make it market-specific. It was complex, it was challenging, and it took a very, very long time. Well, we thought a lot about this in the last 20 years that we've been focused on commerce, and we make commerce operations much easier by centralizing your commerce operations in our new surface markets. This brings everything together. And we also offer managed markets. Now, managed markets is a tool that allows you overnight to expand in up to 165 markets. So with that, we'll just show a very short video because it will do a better job of helping you see and understand managed markets than I could.
Shopify merchants are already selling around the world with Shopify's managed market solution, which uses the merchant record model to handle all operational complexities like tax filing, duties, prepaid shipping labels, customs documentation, fraud protection, and more. Today, we're making it even easier to expand your business and convert more international buyers. First, we have made the catalog restrictions user experience much more streamlined. You can trust Shopify to automatically restrict specific products that will be denied at customs. You can now see which products have been restricted in which regions and why.
Sorry about that.
That would be the high-quality internet that we're all suffering under here, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to keep going, James.
Okay, so we'll move to the next slide. I think I can.
Okay, let's see.
I think if you jump back to the presentation, you So whilst we're just restarting the laptop, I'm going to continue with the talk track so we can try and finish on time. So one of our clients, Sennheiser, an audio brand that you may be familiar with, came to Shopify. They were on a legacy stack. They had an antiquated architecture and commerce platform. They had a desire to expand very quickly internationally. We were able to work with them, and as a result of the power of the Shopify platform and also managed markets, we were able to realize the activation of a new market and a new storefront in around about 8 weeks. And we were able to significantly increase the conversion rate and the average order value associated with the website. So, what? Can you go slideshow? Okay. So look, this is a pretty standard story. Merchants come to us in enterprise telling us how they're frustrated with their current commerce vendor. Often they're saddled with technical debt. They've got a different stack in each market. They're struggling to design and build the commerce capabilities and the features that they need for commerce today, let alone tomorrow. And we're able to accelerate and simplify their journey. In this case here, Sennheiser wanted to pursue a hybrid approach to their architecture. So one of the things that we can do that no other commerce vendor can do is that we can provide you with the option to realize a headless architecture. You can take hydrogen oxygen and build a differentiated experience on the front end, or you can use our online storefront powered by Liquid. And there's not much that Liquid can't do. So Sennheiser adopted for headless in markets where they wanted to differentiate, and they chose Liquid for markets where the requirements were less and they wanted to move very, very quickly. So what we saw there was fast market activation, 8 weeks per market, and 136.7 conversion rate increase. Okay. Automation in the age of AI. It wouldn't be a presentation at eCommerce Expo 2024 without talking about AI. When you are scaling your commerce operations globally, there's a lot you need to think about. Well, for merchants, we've made that much, much simpler. We have Shopify Magic. It's a powerful AI tool which is integrated across the platform. Now, this allows you to generate instant smart replies to live chat inquiries on your website. It also allows you to generate captivating content like images, product descriptions, and copy. It allows you to easily manage some of the more mundane and tedious tasks. This includes things like product classification and support. And lastly, it allows you to drive better conversion with instant answers as your customer moves through the funnel. So Shopify Magic is available now on the platform. Okay, lastly, and we're almost done. Our customers have told us that integrations for commerce at scale are complex, they're difficult, and they're costly. So we've invested very significantly in our partnerships. We've pre-built integrations that in many cases can make it easier for you to unlock the data that you need for commerce at scale. That's your product, price, inventory, and customer information. This means that you can realize new services faster for commerce. Perhaps you can easily architect a federated data platform to make the data that you need available for all markets via a channel agnostic service. It dramatically reduces the cost of ownership, the cost per interface, and the cost per user story, and it gives you a faster time to market for your commerce experiences at scale. What this does is free up capacity. If you're an enterprise or you're a mid-market business or you're an agency, instead of building integrations, you can actually focus on engineering unique and innovative experiences. Now at Shopify, we call this approach a unified approach. We bring together all of the data that you need on one platform. And what this does is that it gives you the capabilities you need for commerce today and also tomorrow, whilst allowing you to realize optimal customer journeys across B2B, B2C, and retail. Now, very quickly, these are some of our partners that I wanted to highlight. If you're taking a composable approach to commerce, you are most likely going to want to bring in best-in-class capabilities, whether it's your ERP, your OMS, your CMS, right? We have partnerships that can allow you to introduce those capabilities and to curate and compose a technology stack that is going to give you a competitive advantage. We have very soon a new integration with Oracle's customer data platform. We have a very strong relationship with Shopify for enriching the front end with product related information. Contentful and Sanity are two of our preferred partners for content management and managing workflows and the content supply chain. Miracle is a very valued partner in Marketplace in the event that you want to evolve your business model. And lastly, of course, Nosto, who are here with me today. So what have we learned today? We've learned today that commerce at scale is complex and that technology doesn't always work. Thank you for your patience. Personalization is important. It's more essential than ever if you're embarking on commerce at scale, and we make that easy. We help you localize, we help you automate, and we can also make a lot of your integrations much, much simpler. Lastly, we are the leader in commerce. We're recognized by all of the analysts, and at the moment, for every 38 enterprise customers that are joining us, only one is leaving. My name's James Henderson. I'm from Shopify. This is Jamie Burks. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.